All right, I show 6:10, so I'm going to go ahead and call tonight's meeting to order. I don't believe we have any changes to the agenda, so if not, I would entertain a motion to approve.
You make that motion?
Second.
Motion and a second. All of those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Move to the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. East Sac County Schools empower all students to become productive, responsible citizens of an ever-changing global society. I will take a minute now for public input on non-agenda items. Okay, we'll go ahead and move on to Board Secretary report.
I don't have much to say, just trying to make my way through the first month without John. So, everything's going all right.
Okay.
We got a little financial statement for fund balance report. Everything looks like it's trending the same way that it has been, so no concerns there.
Okay. Any other questions?
I don't have any. Other than how's it going without John? It's a lot easier with him, but I understand.
Yeah, it was a lot easier with that, but we're making it.
All right.
Good.
We missed
Good luck.
it. We're making it.
Good.
I do have a correspondence this month. So.
Okay.
We do have one correspondence this month. I have a thank you card from Brad Anderson. He's the superintendent at South Central Calhoun. Thanking the East Sac County administration for including their seniors at our last home track meet because they had 4 track meets scheduled to be at home and all of them got rained out or
Bad
too
luck.
cold. So the last sentence of his thank you reads, "This was an outstanding gesture and appreciated more than you know. If you can ever repay the favor, consider it done." So that was cool.
All right. We'll move on then to administrative reports.
Sure, so from the elementary, I have just listed in there, we had our spring concert and 6th grade youth marketplace event on the same night. It was busy, really good turnout, lots of buyers for the kids and that were selling items, and then good turnout for the concert too. The people and the kids performed well. And I know, just kind of like I reported there, 6th grade students reported that this learning experience was one of their highlights of the year. So that was good. K-6 students made their reading step goal. So I know last year we had set a goal and we did not make it. So we were a lot more intentional this year. Just communication, working with parents. And actually, as of now, I have an update. The students actually read 234,997 steps. That's 15 minutes each step, so that's 3,524,955 minutes, or 58,749 and a quarter hours of reading. So we held a little assembly to let them know that they won and they were super pumped, or not won, but that they made their goal, they were super pumped, and then as a result, we had a foam party on Friday to celebrate. And there were kids that of all age, I had never experienced one before, I was a little leery about it, and and we had a great day. Kids, 5th grade students, this is the best day of my life. Kindergarten students, that was repeated over and over. Foam, who would have known? But our goal there is we're really about creating a culture of reading, and so it's good progress this year, and we will look to continue that. I think they're going to remember that. So spring assessment data, we're working on fast screening assessments, still even finalizing a few. One piece of data that I sent it to teachers on Friday. So persistently at risk are students who have not met benchmark for 2 consecutive screening data points. In the spring of 2023, we had 39% of our students persistently at risk. This year, a year later, we are at 30%. So we are moving in the right direction. We have work to do, but we are definitely moving in the right direction. So same with our ISASS results. They're back, and we saw significant growth in a lot of areas. Obviously, there's always areas we can improve, but we were celebrating growth. So Transition activities, lots of those going on. Each grade works to try to transition students to the next. So like in the lower elementary, they visit them. They do kind of a little question and answer, get to see the rooms, the teachers. And then our sixth graders were in the building today. I haven't heard how it went, but,
It went okay. It went just fine. It was nice to meet them and kind of talk through some things with them. It's good.
And then I just ended with some summer PD. We have a lot of teachers attending professional development this summer. So will be lots of learning to keep us moving in the right direction. Any questions or?
For the teachers, is that optional? Like, are they that's optional for them, or is it highly
yes.
encouraged? Or like, I was just curious, like if a lot of them were like, yeah, I want to be.
Yeah, well,
like,
the science
want
curriculum, they really want to, experience that. It's off contract time, so we will pay them to attend. The PLC Institute was
That's
completely
voluntary.
voluntary,
Okay,
no pay.
and that's the
nothing, and
21.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, that's
So
good.
a lot of enthusiasm for that.
Mhm.
And it's good learning, so
Good.
we'll be excited to come back and process.
Mhm.
Good.
So the high school, maybe to piggyback first off of what Becky was talking about there, I didn't include this in mine, but we have a lot of staff going to a couple different things. They're starting even in June, and we're going, me and 2 science teachers are going to open science training for things that go from junior high through high school, and just kind of getting a look at that as well. And another one that I didn't have in there too, but yeah, we did have the 6th graders game today. It went pretty well. I mean, they were in 3 different groups. They got a tour of the building. They got to ask some questions from some 7th and 8th graders, kind of get like an understanding of that. And then they met with me and Kristen Boone to kind of talk about expectations, the way things usually are in the building, and then the things they can expect in the fall when they very first start. But went really well. They were behaved pretty well. You guys are doing a good job of them. Hopefully that carries over to us. I started off with some assessment scores there, the ISAPS results. I think Mr. Hemler is going to go a little bit more in depth about it, so I just kind of did a general. For ELA and science, we showed growth for all the grades from the previous years for those ones, so I thought that was really good, first of all. The math, we had growth for everything. We had growth for 7th, 8th, and 10th grade. But we were very proud of the overall effort growth and success of the students from this year's test for sure. I included a spring athletics update. At the time where I was writing this, we're still into this right now, but we had a lot of the postseason kind of things that were going on. I covered girls golf, winning their first round of regionals. I mean, they did pretty well there, even at the finals for regionals too, and I included a picture for them. And then our state qualifiers for track, our 2 boys with the long distance there. I know the boys soccer is playing tonight against Unity Christian, and then the girls play Bishop Heelan tomorrow. So, a lot of those things are really getting right to the end of them, as baseball and softball are already starting too. So there's a lot of things going on right now for our high schoolers. We have class rewards trips that have been going on. Last week, the 7th graders went to Arnold's Park on Thursday. I heard that there was 1,500 kids there about, is what the park had reported from other schools and everything combined, just all schools having their rewards on the same. It was a nice day, great day for it. So, but I can imagine how much fun that was for all the people supervising. So, and then tomorrow, our sophomores are going to Fort Frenzy and Fort Dodge. I included, this is all based off of who won from class points with all the things they do throughout the entire year, and the sophomores. I included that on there because, I mean, they won by over like 200 points. I thought that was a pretty big spread there, so the sophomores did a great job there for all the various things that we did throughout the entire year. We had our spring music performances basically wrapped up there with the vocal and ukulele concert on the 7th. I got some pictures on there for that. And again, they did a tremendous job. The band did a tremendous job, I think, about a week before that, or a little bit more than a week before that, maybe, for when we had the Battle of the Bands. And then also, I sent a message to Jody and Kelsey after graduation, because I just thought, I mean, they did a great job with how well prepared the kids were for that, too. It sounded really good at graduation there yesterday. That's all I had in mind. Any questions?
Okay. May is School Board Appreciation Month, so I don't know how many of you are Facebook users. Brent?
I'm not.
You made it on there though.
Yes.
Did I? Yay! Oh,
There you
Lance sent
go.
me the picture. There it is. I saw that.
Lance is an avid user, so
Yeah,
I'm sure he passed it along. So I just wanted to know that you guys got some love on Facebook, and we put that out there for the community to see. And If you look in front of you, you've been given a certificate, compliments of the Iowa School Board Association, that you can take home and show your spouse, and hang on your fridge if you would like.
That's wonderful.
I just want you to know that I appreciate what you do, and I know the community does too. I know it's not an easy job to sit on a board. We all know that you're volunteers. You don't get paid to do it, so definitely appreciate your support and what you do for our school district and our kids. Okay, Becky kind of talked about this, and I just wanted to highlight this as well because this is kind of a big deal. Not just because we're putting a lot of resources into it, but it's an opportunity for our teachers to attend a national conference, and this is our Solution Tree PLC at Work Institute that the teachers are going to on June 9th. And as Lori asked earlier, this was completely voluntary. When we started talking about it, I just sent an email to the staff and said, who would like to go? I said, you're going to be away from your kids and family for 3 days, and I think some people got excited about that. But they're going to go up to Minneapolis, and we're sending 21, 2 administrators and 19 teachers out of that building. And basically they're going to learn a little more about the PLC process. I know both buildings have used it in the before and are kind of at the building levels on really making it work. So we have representation from every grade level, and I'm truly excited for them to go do that. I've attended twice, and I know Becky, you've been there before, and I think it's going to be great for our kids and our teachers. So our last day for students is this Thursday, and staff will have professional development on Friday. At 2 p.m. on Friday, we'll have a staff recognition ceremony for those who are retiring and those who have been here for 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20, 25, and 30. I also plan to celebrate some of the stuff we're going to talk about tonight when we get to the academic progress we've made. And then, as our principals mentioned, and this has kind of been a discussion from July 1st when I basically started here, we've been really focusing on our academic performance this year at every building, and I know Mrs. Helber's academics and behavior. But our 22-23 ISAFS data was concerning. On average, our students did not test well last year. This was addressed from day one. Started focusing on raising classroom expectations and increasing student engagement. And then with that, reducing behaviors, enforcing school rules and policies, and ensuring we're using our time correctly and efficiently. For the conferences, Mr. Tedesco worked to include a scheduled conference for all of our high school kids, and we rolled that out this spring. And initially, some people were probably a little surprised that we were going to attempt to do this, and then after it was done, Tony, you got some pretty good feedback on it, right?
Yeah, I would say so. And then we used a lot of the answers that we had from parents and students to go over some things in professional development and actually planning in our building leadership team to see if there's things that can be building wide goals, just off of the feedback that we had.
Yep. So then our focus this year is just preparing for the tests and really using our time wisely. And this has not been communicated out yet. The ISAFS results are in. Our school report card won't be out until probably next October or November. And that's what really kind of shows the direction that a district is trending. Anyway, what this is showing you is our ISAT scores last year compared to this year. This is ELA and percent proficient. So a couple things about these graphs. What this shows you is the percent proficient per year in a grade. So the only way to compare kids, the same kids in the grade level, is if you look at the black bar graph on the left compared to the red bar graph on the right. That's your same group of kids. And as Mr. Tedesco talked about, if you follow that in ELA, every single grade improved their percentage across the board, every single grade. So definitely some big wins there. And as you can see, our overall percent proficient is back up into those 60s, 70s, 80s. Seventh grade was at 94% this year. 94% of the class was proficient on the test. So we showed lots of growth throughout the year. And then when we get our school report card and some data this fall, we're going to be able to compare these results to the state average. And my goal going forward is to make sure that we are at least at the state average or above. So these scores will give us a good chance of being there. That's ELA. Here is math. We had 2 grades that didn't test as well this year. That was 9th grade and 11th grade on math. If you look at their year to year, you can see that we did not show growth there, but otherwise every other grade did. And those 7th graders, again, you know, if we look back, just for example, if you look at where they were in 6th grade, they were about 43% proficient, and this year they were about 77. So that's a lot of growth. A lot of growth. So very proud of them. And then science, we saw also a ton of growth. Now, there's no way to compare the same kids on this year to year because they only take it 5th grade, 8th grade, and 10th grade. But last year, the proficiencies were right around that 50% or a little bit lower. And this year, we're at 81, you know, and 60, 70 in there. So a lot better. So from my lens, proud of my staff, proud of the kids, taking it seriously, proud of the teachers, and like I told them from the beginning, this is not a one-day thing. You don't prepare for the test the day before you take it, you take it. That every single day matters, and that's the only way you get results like this. So very proud of them for that. That's all I got.
Any comments, questions?
Kudos on that.
Yeah.
I guess. I mean,
Yeah.
it's pretty awesome 1-year turnaround.
It was
Be
a
proud.
priority, and I'm glad it paid off. So.
Okay, if there is nothing else on the discussion items, we'll go ahead and move to the action items. First up are the consent agenda items. I think there were minutes, board bills, policies, and then a couple of agreements and funding plan. And I'd asked just if there was any highlights on the funding plan that you wanted to share, any changes?
No changes. Last year, we saved some money by doing that, so we're gonna try it again this year. So I don't know if everybody's familiar with it. I think we've been doing it for a couple of years, but it's just basically when we're buying insurance, we get a higher deductible is what we pay for, and then we make up the difference between what we told the employees we're gonna provide and what we actually purchase. So it saves us a little bit of money.
I think it's something we need to look at every year, review it, but the last couple of years it has worked for us. I don't see no reason why not to try it again.
Yeah. Are there any other questions on the consent agenda?
Motion to approve consent agenda.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the consent agenda items. All of those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next up are personnel items. I believe we have some resignations and contracts to issue.
Yep, and I'll go through and read those. As you noted in the board packet, May is kind of a really busy month for us because we are going to approve a lot of coaching positions. We kind of want to get the staff on board so we know who's here. And then Mr. Tedesco put in a lot of time making phone calls and interviewing people that applied for positions. And so you're going to see those being recommended also when we get to offers. The attached TLC recommendations are there. I won't read those individually. Those are just on your sheet. So as far as resignations go, we have some associates. A few different reasons here. Like our first one, Brandon Schimmer, he is going to teach next year. So, and a few different career choices. So Brandon Schimmer as associate, Peyton Winchell as an associate, Cameron Oakes associate, Marshall Brower custodian, John Smith wrestling coach, Jason Phillips assistant football coach, and Duvall Camara JV football, and Jeff Niehaus high school varsity track. Contract offers, Lisa Keys. This is for halftime title and halftime preschool. So working it out, we found our second preschool teacher will have 3 sections of that, so we'll have good section numbers in that. And no one has to worry about where their place is on the list. So
That's
this
good
is
news.
a good thing. Nicole Chartier Martin, she's going to be our new science teacher in the high school. Stephanie Hauser will be a central office secretary. Jeff Myers, associate for next year. And now we'll get into the coaching. Nicole Chartier Martin is being recommended to coach junior high volleyball, high school wrestling, high school girls wrestling, and junior high track. Lisa Keys, junior high girls basketball. Noel Bachman, assistant wrestling and assistant football. Carter Church, assistant football, summer weight room and school year weight room coordinator. Evan Gutzmer, spring drama sponsor. Brenda Orick, fall drama sponsor. Sandra Shatner, assistant fall drama and high school speech. Stephanie Erbelding, prom sponsor. And Eric McCullough, activities director. And then, as I mentioned earlier, the TLC recommendations are on that attachment. That TLC plan is the same as it has been, with a few modifications and some building level leadership team. In the high school or in the elementary this year, we decided to post positions where we're going to have kind of a grade team leader. So one person to work with the administration, and that grade team leader has agreed to go to the PLC conference. So kind of get that thing, get our wheels in motion with that. So.
Okay. Any questions, comments on those? Otherwise, I'd entertain a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Motion and a second to approve the resignations and contracts as listed. All of those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Before we move on, just to reiterate, can you go through just a couple of the open positions that we've got that we're still looking for? Just to make
Absolutely.
sure.
Teaching wise, we are looking for high school Spanish and high school special ed. So if you look at our neighboring districts around us, you can almost bet that they are also looking for those same positions. At this point, we're going to continue to look for a Spanish teacher. A lot of schools are moving that to online with the shortage of Spanish teachers. If we get to that point, Mr. Tedesco and I will sit down and talk. There's a few different companies that offer instruction that we could use. And in our special ed department, this building will have 3 special ed teachers next year. Heather, who was hired as our SPED coordinator, assistant principal, also has a special education license. So does Mr. Tedesco. So in the event that we need help with caseloads, we have some options there. But if anyone knows of a high school special education teacher, we would love them to apply. This position's been open since January 1. So.
Well, I know some surrounding districts haven't handed out their contracts yet, so there might be some people up there.
And I mean, there's been a lot of conversations with a lot of people. We're trying. It's just a hard spot to fill. So.
Elementary building wise, we're sitting okay though from the classroom position. Okay.
Yes.
I think on that note, and Becky says yes, but from where I know, this district was sitting last year in that building. Right now, they have 0 teaching needs for next year. We need associates.
Yes.
But as far as certified teachers goes, that building is full.
Okay, that's good. And I'm assuming we're always taking applications. I mean, roughly how many associates are we? Quite a few.
It depends. We have some outgoing incoming.
Coming.
Sit down and look at it.
Okay.
We probably need to fill at least 3 or 4 in
Yes.
the building. Yeah, I know Mr.
I just met with my special education staff today, and we're probably about 3. We're definitely about 3 short.
Okay. Okay. Appreciate the update on that.
Mhm.
That's some good news though that we have. the majority of the positions filled.
Yes. Yes, that's a good.
That's good.
that's a good
Seeing the plan for what we're gonna somewhat could do. That's nice to know. That was my question. What's the worst case scenario? But
I think about that often.
All right. Next up, we do have a closed session this evening. So I would look for a motion.
All right, at this time, I make a motion pursuant to Iowa Code Section 21.5, 1A and or E to enter into a closed session to discuss a student's open enrollment eligibility request.
I'll second it.
Can we do a roll call vote, please?
Can we do a roll call vote? Jim Wallace.
Aye.
Lori Hoover.
Aye.
Mark Jansen. Aye. Brent Wilhelm.
Aye.
Becky Miller.
Okay. So at this time, we'll move to closed session.
Is that okay if I ask a question?
We are out of closed session, just so you know. We have adjourned closed session.
Okay. Okay.
So at this time, the closed session, we are out of closed session, returning back to open session. And 8.2 would be to take action on the request. Is there a motion that a board member would like to make at this time? Okay.
Hearing none, we will proceed with the remainder of the agenda. Before we adjourn our regular meeting, we should set our next regularly scheduled meeting, which I believe should be normally the third Monday in June, June 17th.
June 17th, 6:10 p.m.
Does that work for everybody? We have a no.
oh, I'm
Looking.
oh, okay. I was like, I don't think I have anything.
So I wanna
I'm
make sure
pretty
we
sure
have
I don't. I'm not gonna
enough.
have to look. Yep, I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, that works for me
I
too.
don't know if I'm working that week or not, so let's just keep it at 6:10. Otherwise, it could be at 6, but just
Okay, we'll keep it at 6:10 just to be safe for you. Okay. Are there any other agenda items for that meeting?
Not that I know of.
Okay. If not, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All of those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you, everyone. Curtis, good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while.
Yeah, it feels like we should email
Yeah.
people. I think we start to next week.
You, I would like to tell you that your pictures from graduation were very nice.
I haven't had a chance to look at them yet. You got them up? Okay. I'll have to go look at them.
Does he normally send it to you on Monday? Or when does it open?
Whenever you had it. Are we talking back?
I have one question for you. when you're done,
Usually,
but whatever.
Friday or Monday. Yeah. A lot of times it was Monday afternoon.
Okay.
It's probably waiting for somebody's thing.
3 more
Did you get
days.
the agenda from me?
Yeah.
I thought I sent the agenda.
There was a part today where I was really thinking to myself, I think I just get the ask you email so I can send you. I had my doubts at one point.
Oh,
It's just tea.
Let me open it quick. Sorry, I look like this.
Okay, guys.
folks.
Well,
Have a
have a good night. I'm
Yep.
off to
Thank
baseball
you.
game now.
Thank you.